Call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. Welcome to the July 9th City of Windom Council meeting. This evening I would like to add one agenda item. It'll come after the consent agenda, technically after the regular bills. That'll be a standalone item. This is a request by the Cottonwood County Ag Society for a temporary liquor license, and this they have paid the expedited fee to get that on the agenda tonight. Is that the consensus of the council? I can add that to the agenda. And on the consent agenda this evening for your approval are the council minutes from July 5th, EDA July 11th, Community Center, July 11th, Library Board, July 12th, Planning Commission, July 12th, licenses including the amplification permit, night to night, August 2nd, exempt gambling permit, American Legion Auxiliary Bingo, and a tobacco license request from Nash Tobacco. Also included are the regular bills. Any questions? If not, I'd entertain that to be approved.
I'd make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Motion, Jason, seconded by Lisa. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Regarding the Cottonwood Ag Society temporary liquor license request, everybody has a copy in front of them. Steve noted that they did pay the expedited fee. Any questions on that? Yeah, and it's for the fair, during the fair, for a 4-day license. Have you, does this need to be run by the chief or anything, Steve?
No.
No, this is good. If not,
I'd make a motion to approve the 4-day temporary on-sale liquor license for the Cottonwood County Ag Society, August 10th through the 13th at the Cottonwood County Fair.
I'll second that motion.
motion to approve that request from Jenny, seconded by Lisa. Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have a public hearing. This is in regard to the vacation of a utility easement. Are you presenting that, or?
Yep, I can.
Okay.
Andy is here if you have questions.
Okay.
So up on the screen, I'm showing you, there's a couple of lots on here right in between the former Shopco building and the Guardian Inn. Part of it is an EDA-owned parcel, which is kind of this triangular shaped one right here on lot 2. That's correct, isn't it, Andy? Or lot 2. So this is for a new commercial building. The EDA has tentatively sold their interest in this lot to a new commercial building. The building was going to be a little bit further to lot 3, and now it's changing, so it's getting pushed a little, so some more parking can go on the far side of lot 3 where it abuts the Shopco lots. That then put this utility easement that's shown in yellow into question because we don't want it running underneath of a structure. It's a 20-foot utility easement. There are no utilities in it, and none of the utilities had a issue with vacating it. However, we did request that a new easement be granted. And the purpose for that is that if there's additional development on that Shopco lot, then utilities can be run right down the middle by the property line and can access both developments. So what you're seeing on the screen now is where this dark brown one is, that's the one that would be vacated, and this yellow one would be the new 20-foot easement. And both the property buyers and the property sellers had petitioned this, and they are good with the vacation and then the re-establishment of a utility easement.
In my understanding, that's going to be taken care of at the closing. They will sign the new easement.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. Any questions from the council at this time anyway? If not, I am going to open the public hearing. That is open. Members of the public that would like to provide information one way or another. One more request for members of the public to state their opinions on this vacation of an easement. Hearing none, the hearing is closed. I would assume that for the record, nobody else has.
We received no written comments, no.
Okay, thank you. With that, you have a resolution included in your packet in regards to the vacation of the utility easement as presented to us this evening.
I would introduce the resolution approving the vacation of the utility easement.
Second.
Marv introduced the resolution approving the vacation of a public utility easement located as described, seconded by Jason. Any discussion or questions? Seeing none, I'll ask for a roll call.
Farag,
Yes.
Grunig,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Quaid.
Yes.
That resolution is carried. And the utility easement is vacated until the closing, and we'll have a couple new ones. Next, we have the honor of presenting a letter of commendation. This letter of commendation will be in public record. I believe this will be a resolution. Steve, is that just approval? Okay. And I would like to read this. Letter of commendation, life-saving. Awarded to J. Grandpré, the City of Windom and Windom Fire Department believes in recognition of their firefighters, their actions, and outstanding efforts in service to the community. On July 7th, 2022, while off duty, J. Grandpré, firefighter, responded to a citizen in distress and administered the Heimlich procedure to clear the person's airway and restore breathing. This is presented this 19th day of July, 2022, signed by Dominic Jones, Mayor. Is there a motion to approve this grateful letter of commendation?
Second.
Motion by James, I believe, second by Jason. Any discussion? With gratitude, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And of course, no one opposed? Of course. Jay? Congratulations, sir. Thank
So being on the fire department 25 years now, to me, it's not an individual effort. We were at a fire department social, and there was probably 28 and another 10 retired firemen, and I think any one of them would have done the same exact thing that I did. I was in the right spot at the right moment. And of course, all that training came from fire and working with our EMTs and ambulance. And so But yeah, appreciate this. Thank you.
Thank you. One thing to go along with that, it's quite an accomplishment when you had a citizen from Windom make that recommendation also. Not, it'd be great if your fellow colleagues would nominate, but this came from the public with, heartfelt appreciation. So thank you, Jay. And our entire fire department. And with that, Chief?
Fire Chief Ben Derrickson. First off, I'd like to thank Jay as well on that for doing what he did and knowing how to do it and remembering how to do it. I mean, you get in a moment and sometimes you do forget simple things like that, and he did an excellent job on that. So hats off to you, Jay. So. And I guess the next thing that I'm here for is our members on our fire department we're down at 28 members again right now. We typically like to stay about 32. Our charter says we can have up to 40, but we consider ourselves full at about 32, 33 people. So I guess I'm coming here in front of you guys tonight to ask to advertise to put new guys on again this fall. We're hoping for 4 or 5, good recruits. Well, hopefully we get more apps than that, and we'll take them through the tryout process, the interview process, and that type of stuff. Same stuff we've done the last several years, and hopefully get some good apps out of it, and get 4 or 5 good firefighters out of it. We'd put them through classes again this fall, get them up to speed this fall, late fall, early winter type of deal, and then they'd be ready to go in the spring. So,
One question I had is, you mentioned you had some retirements. Have they already happened, or do you have a new surprise for us?
as of right now, yes, they have happened already. We had 3 that retired in February, and then we've had a few more resignations since then. Guys moving on, life-changing deals for them. But we do have, right now we do have 3 members that are at that 20 or 20 plus years. So hopefully we can keep them around for a few years yet, but you never know. So.
Any other questions on the request?
I'll make a motion to accept your recommendation to add 3 to 4 new firemen.
I'll second if it's 4 to 5 new firemen.
4 to 5.
Up to 5. ASAP. All right. Sounds good. The motion was made by Jenny, seconded by Jason.
Jason.
That's what I said.
Thank you, Jenny.
wasn't it? Okay, sorry. Motion by Jason, seconded by Jenny to approve the request of our chief of the fire department. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Good luck, and I hope you find some good candidates.
Thank you, and I'll keep you guys updated.
Department heads. There you go. Thanks again, guys. Thanks for coming. Nobody here for department heads. Planning Commission recommendation. We have a CUP for a request for the fence easement at 355 First Street. Andy's here to tell us the recommendation from the Planning Commission.
Thank you. Andy Spielman, Building and Zoning Official. As the mayor said, I've got a item on the agenda this evening. It's a conditional use request, and that's to place a fence in a utility easement at 355 First Street. This lot is kind of across from Subway, just to give you an idea. It's in the same block, I believe, as Godfather's Pizza down there. Jan Michael Tull and Jackie E. Tull submitted the application. So they first applied for a zoning permit to construct a fence. When I did the site inspection and did a little looking into it, there's actually a quite a large easement. So the parcel that's highlighted in yellow there, it's a little bit hard to see, but the blue lines are, again, relatively the property lines. In the lower left-hand part of their parcel, there's a 30-foot by 30-foot corner that's entirely covered by a utility easement. That easement extends to the west, but it does not go any farther east. So it's not completely through the lot or anything like that.
The 30 by 30 is in this back corner.
Bottom left corner of their lot, right there, yep. And then it extends to the west, but it doesn't go any farther to the east. It's a platted easement on the plat. All easements are shown as utility easements, so it's not an access easement for anything. It's simply for utilities. Planning Commission held a public hearing at their last Planning Commission meeting. We received no comments during or prior to the public hearing. And following that, the Planning Commission did vote to recommend the council approve the conditional use permit to allow the fence on the utility easement, with the condition that they work with the utilities that are present. And in this particular case, Windom Fiber is the only utility present. When I was on site, they had already called Gopher State one call. This is a unique lot where electric is in the front of the lot. So electric, water, sewer, and gas are all in the front boulevard. There is a fiber ped in the rear yard, but if they meet the setback and all the other provisions of a fence, they won't be enclosing that in their yard. But that was basically the condition, that we know there's some fiber there, and to work with our telecom department to make sure we maintain clearance to the pedestal and stuff like that. This is not a request to vacate the easement. The easement is still there, just simply a request to put a fence on a platted easement. That's all I've got.
One question I had is just simply, if for some reason there was a conflict and the fence was near or adjacent to or on top of where access needed to be gained, would I would assume that the fence would have to be removed and then it could be replaced. Would that, working with them, I understand that.
Yeah, that's my understanding. The conditional use permit just allows them to build it, but the easement is still there. We still have a right to go on that easement for purposes of installing or maintaining public utilities. And if the fence was in the way of that, we would be able to remove it and it would, typically that would be at the owner's expense then to replace it or reinstall it, yep.
Thank you. Any other questions? Otherwise, this is a recommendation from Planning and Zoning to approve with that condition of working with utilities. Is there a motion to approve?
I'd make a motion to approve the easement, not the easement, the CUP.
I'll second.
Motion to approve the CUP by Jason, second by Jenny. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Night to Unite. There's a proclamation with a resolution in regards to the Windom Night to Unite. And as one of the organizers, I would ask Jenny to read the proclamation with the intent to introduce that.
Windom's Night to Unite proclamation. whereas the Minnesota Crime Prevention Association, AAA, and local law enforcement agencies are sponsoring a unique national crime, drug, and violence awareness program entitled Night to Unite on August 2nd, 2022. And whereas the Night to Unite is designed to get to know one another in the city of Windom, building neighborhood involvement by bringing police and communities together, and to bring awareness to crime prevention and local law enforcement efforts. And whereas the Night to Unite provides opportunities to celebrate the ongoing work of law enforcement and neighborhoods in Windom by working together to fight crime and victimization and increase public safety for all citizens. And whereas the Department of Corrections, Cottonwood County Probation, the Southwest Crisis Center play a vital role in assisting the Cottonwood County Sheriff and the Windom Police Department through joint crime, drug, and violence prevention efforts in Windom, and are supporting Night to Unite 2022 locally. And whereas it is essential for all citizens of Windom to be aware of the importance of crime prevention programs and the impact that their participation can have on reducing crime, drugs, and violence in Windom. And whereas law enforcement community partnership, neighborhood safety, awareness, and cooperation are important themes of the Night to Unite program. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of Windom, Minnesota, that Tuesday, August 2nd, 2022 is designated as Night to Unite in Windom, Minnesota, and the citizens of Windom are encouraged to support and participate in Windom's 16th annual Night to Unite, adopted by the council this 19th day of July, 2022. And I would introduce this resolution.
Second.
Resolution introduced by Jenny, seconded by Jason. Very well stated, and I will ask for a roll call.
Quaid,
Yes.
Fahrig,
Yes.
Grunig,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Resolution carries. And I would like to encourage the public to come out and visit with our correction people, to visit with our police department, our fire department will be there, ambulance crews will be there, and likely many others, and some activities for the kids, I'm sure. And I'm sure Jenny will also restate that at the end of the meeting tonight. So I'll leave the rest of it up to her. So, and our police chief is here. Thank you, and thank you for partnering with this group, and we look forward to seeing you on the square. As a reminder, next council meeting while I'm here will be an hour later. It'll be a 7:30 start time, and I'm sure Steve will also give us a reminder when that time comes. So, next, along with that, is a street closure request. This, I believe, is for 4th Avenue from 10th Street to 9th Street. Okay. Council wish to take action to close the street.
I'd make the motion to approve Windom Chambers' request of the street closure. Second.
4:45 to 7:30. I'm sure that was the intent of their motions. Was made by Marv and seconded by James, I believe. Thank you. Any discussion or questions? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries. Tax forfeited property. This is the 2022 resolution. Steve, maybe just, this is in a resolution form.
Yep.
Would you like to just?
Sure, just real briefly, Cottonwood County sends a list and a request for properties that have gone back on tax forfeiture. There's 2 of them in Windom. The addresses are in the packet, 664 Collins and 1424 Street. Those are both back taxes. You can see on one of them on the 24th Street, there's a considerable assessment against it. That was for a tear down and restoration of a lot. And so our policy has been to reassess it through, if the property goes tax sale, we reassess and reestablish our right to collect that assessment. You can always reconsider that at a point in time if somebody comes forward with the project, but that's what is in the resolution, is to allow for the public sale at auction of those two properties and to reassess any city assessments. We did discuss it at department head meeting, and there was no departments that felt there was a public use for those properties. So we're recommending that this resolution be approved and they go to the county for tax sale.
Any questions for Steve on the process? Jenny?
So can you just run me through what is the process then? This goes up for tax forfeiture, then that, over 18,000 in cleanup. How does, like, someone that would want, because I just think that's a extreme amount to think that somebody's gonna buy that little piece of property and then spend 18,000 for cleanup of somebody's prior thing that they didn't pay for. What's the process they go through to try to vacate that or whatever?
Sure. Well, it is a buildable lot, and so $18,000 for a buildable lot with all the utilities to it probably isn't too terrible bad, but I do understand that it's a considerable price to pay. Actually, both of the property owners on either side have had some interest in it. So what the discussion was, I said, well, bring a proposal. If there's somebody going to put a house on it, it's going to generate future tax revenue or something, I'm sure then the council would certainly work with them. But just to vacate it, to have extra yard or something just probably wasn't a real high priority for the council. But that would be your discussion to waive that assessment should you want to do it in the future. Because if you don't do it, reassess it, you're waiving that right to do it at any other time.
So
you're
leave
going to
it for
preserve it
now,
now, and
and
then you
then
can
when
always
someone
waive it later. If
bids
there's-
on it, then they can,
Yes.
when it goes up for auction, they can make some kind of,
They would then have to apply, I don't think they would purchase it at the auction. It will probably remain unsold at the county. And then say, okay, I'm interested in it. I'm going to, let's say, make it as part of my lot, build another garage on it. Then come to us and say, hey, I'm willing to work with you on the assessment amount. If you'd reduce it, here's what I'll do is building, something on it. And then you can decide what you would like to do at that point. But if we don't reassess it now, you lose all your right to have any of that discussion later.
okay, I just wanted to make sure I had some questions from the community about that, and so I just wanted to know. I just had heard in other people speaking that there were possibly other cities that have waived big amounts like this in matters like that to try to get the property sold and reused and repurposed versus sitting there in the city having to take care of it. So just wanted to know what the process was. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, someone care to introduce that resolution?
I'd introduce the resolution approving the sale of tax forfeited parcels at public auction.
I'll second that motion.
Introduced by Jason, seconded by Lisa. Any other questions? Seeing none, roll call.
Quite, oops, we had that one. I didn't switch my thing. Grunig,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Farag,
Yes.
Quaid,
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Resolution carries. Okay. Resolution appointing additional election judges. There is a list of, 7 additional ones as noted. Someone care to introduce the resolution appointing them all without exception as additional election judges?
I would introduce that resolution.
I'll
Second.
second that.
Resolution introduced by Marv, seconded by Lisa. If you were wondering, Steve, who I was wondering who you're going to pick. Appreciate that second. Any discussion? Thanks to these volunteers, and I'll ask for a roll call.
Sherman,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Quaid,
Yes.
Farag,
Yes.
Grunig.
Yes.
Resolution carries. Thank you. Personnel recommendation, telecom? telecom installer, we found one.
Good evening, Jeff Dana, Telecom Department General Manager. Before you have a request for action to hire for a position for the telecom installer. Recently did interviewed a candidate, made an offer, and the offer was accepted. Telecom installer worker step 5 of the IVW labor contract, with step advancement upon completion of the 6-month probation period. The anticipated start date is on or before August 1st of 2022. And the candidate is Brian Turner.
Just the question is Brian have the qualifications to be started at, step 6 or 5?
Yes, in my opinion, he has qualifications to start at that level. Changes in the industry, the compensation rates are going up quite a bit, which I'm sure at the next labor negotiation that'll be addressed in some form. But like I said, the previous candidate that I had hired was taking a $16 an hour pay cut to come work here. But then he found out he wasn't going to get laid off, so he was like, I'm not gonna come. So we'll work him in, and I think he's going to be a good fit.
Is there a motion to approve the request that Jeff brought to us tonight?
I'll make the motion to hire Brian Turner at the step 5.
Second.
Motion by Lisa to approve the request, second by Jason. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
New business, THC products, possible regulation discussion. I am going to let Steve introduce this for possible action in the future.
Really not too much else to add other than what was in the memo. As you know, the state approved a bill in July 1. You could start selling THC infused products up to 5 milligrams. Milligrams, right? I think it's milligrams. Anyhow, milligrams, thank you. And however, there was very little licensing regulation or those things put on it. That was left essentially to the cities to regulate. And so the League of Minnesota Cities is working with the Police Chief Association and a number of other partners on what should be done as far as licensing. The tobacco, alcohol is licensed. There's some regulation in the state statute. It can't be sold to anybody under 21. There are some complications as far as what you can do if you can have THC infused beverages. Can they then be sold at liquor stores or not? Municipal liquor stores are under separate set statute, and there's a lot of interactions that have to be worked out yet. There's just a lot of questions. And so a number of cities are working on this. I included in your packet. There was an article from Marshall. They enacted a moratorium while they can study this and try to get some, see some regulations coming down the pike on it. Wade Parker, St. Joe was working on it, St. Cloud's working on it. I've talked to colleagues in Golden Valley. They're looking at passing something. They're going to send me some language when they get it. The League of Minnesota Cities came out with a 5 or 6 page question answer thing that came out today. I'll put that in your packet for the next discussion. The police chief and city attorney and building official Spielman, we're probably going to have a conversation about this. City attorney wasn't available till Friday, so we're going to kind of look at it and come up with, some suggestions and recommendations or options for you to consider at the next meeting. One of them is a possible moratorium. There's some language in our charter that allows for that to be effective rather quickly. So that will probably be one of the options that comes back to you. As the league and others sort through this, it affects CDL licensures, sworn police officers carrying firearms, and so there's a whole bunch of employment law. There's a lot of carryover. What about drug testing? And so there's a lot of things to be worked out here, and we just need to kind of basically maybe pause a little bit until we can get ahead of it. And so so I gave you the information I had. I just wanted you to think about it, kind of start looking on your own, and if you see something or you have some questions on it, we can send you out some information so we can maybe have a little more of a discussion at the next meeting. But I wanted to give you a heads up because you're probably seeing it in the newspapers or the radio and hearing about it, statewide. So it's something that's affecting all of Minnesota. And there's a number of other states that have gone, even further and legalized, other products. And so they've got some regulations I think that Minnesota could, look at as a guide, but we're not quite there yet. So at this point, if anybody had any other questions or needed something, just like I said, make sure you get a hold of myself and we can get it to you.
Yeah, the only thing I was just thought of, so there wasn't regulations behind this with the legislation that was passed?
It was minimal. There was nothing on licensing. They said they mostly concentrated on it has to be from hemp. It has to be Minnesota hemp. It can't be from another state, so they're worried about made Minnesota products. It can't appear to be cartoon-like or in shape of bears. It can't be sold to anybody under 21, and then there was some other fairly loose regulation like that, but nothing on licensing, and didn't address anything on employment law, and addressed nothing on the THC-infused beverages. And so I know the liquor store manager has been working with the Minnesota Beverage Association because they're trying to roll something out too. So, but you've seen a lot of products starting to appear, already. It was just because there's a market in other parts of the country, and so as soon as it, becomes legal, it all infused very, very quickly in the state, and so we need to act on this. So.
Sounds like we will look forward to the information that's presented next meeting and take, as of right now, possible action. Okay?
Yeah, you don't have to do anything. Right. That's an option.
Okay, we'll look forward to the options that we have. And thank you for that update or information. The first I've actually really heard about it was, in the Marshall paper. But, yeah. Okay. Old business. Anyone? As long as John's here manning the controls on the video tonight, I want you to know that I received a thank you for a job well done by you and your department on some recent street repair in front of a resident's home. Very much appreciated. Called my home, left a very nice message, and I will get that message to you at some point, John, a recording of that. Thank you. Okay, seeing nothing else, council comments. Lisa.
I just wanted to say that Jenny and I attended the groundbreaking ceremony for the Lions Shelter House at Teagles Park, and it was a very nice event. We had a lot of the Lions members show up, and I am definitely looking forward to the building or the construction of that, and I think it's going to be very nice. And they are still looking for contributions because I believe that they've got about 2/3 of the funding. So if anybody would like to contribute to that, they can contact the Lions Club.
Thank you for that. And I apologize for not being there. I apologize to the Lions Club. I had a personal invite and realized that my calendar was full and I was out of town that day. So an excuse later doesn't mean I don't care. Okay. Great. All right. Well, great. I Talked him into, no, I didn't. All right, thank you. Jim,
I have nothing.
but you'll be at the night to night, right? Okay, all right. Go have a burger and a ice cream sundae beforehand. We'll be ready to roll. Marv?
Well, as most people who live in the city of Windom already know, we have a bit of a deer problem. And it doesn't seem to be getting any better. And I've gotten a couple of calls now about people, once again, are feeding deer and drawing them into the community. And so you see them walking down the streets and eating the neighbors' hostas. So the request is that please don't feed the deer. As we heard from that DNR person that was here, I don't know if a year or two ago, it doesn't help the deer. They need to learn to find their own food. And by feeding them, you're just drawing them into town. So that's the request. Please stop feeding the deer. Thank you.
Thank you, Marv. I have now a comment after I get to me. Jason?
As I travel around Windom and the communities, I am very much pleased. We have such a beautiful town square. We have such beautiful things. I took a nice picture today of the courthouse with the lovely flowers that are watered daily, and I'm very thankful that we live in a city where people care about the aesthetics, because it does help the entire thing. And I can't wait to see a bunch of people at night to night.
Steve, anything?
Just thanks to the fire department, thanks to Jay for his outstanding efforts, and, you know, we have our law enforcement and our ambulance crews as well that go out every day and help folks in distress, and so they all deserve our recognition and our thanks.
Thank you. Just to piggyback on what Marv said, there are folks in town that spend hundreds, if not a lot more than that, on their vegetable gardens, their flowers, their lawns, and this deer problem is, in my opinion, not going away. I would like to bring up again, I've done it in the past, to consider archery permits in some areas of within city limits. And I would at least like to have Steve talk to some communities that have had this in partnership with the police. If they say no, I can accept that. But, you know, when we have to worry about coming down River Road in the evenings and they're like pets coming across the road, they're not pets. And I concur wholeheartely with what Marv said. We got to keep from feeling sorry for them and feeding the deer to look nice outside your windows. And I've seen them licking out of bird feeders that are 6 feet in the air, taking the corn or peanuts or whatever's in there. And I've got a 5-foot fence around my garden, and they hurdled that once. So, you know, I think it's something we really need to consider. I hope just stop feeding them will keep them out of our communities, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. So they need to be afraid of humans and stay in someone else's backyard. So anyway, I'm with that, I encourage everyone to be active at the Night to Unite, another fine event that the community puts on, and the organizers. So take the opportunity to go out and share in that event. So with that, I think I'll let her go. Jenny, I didn't forget about you, but I wanted people to start pointing, and the floor's yours.
Yes. Okay, well.
We had a nice city appreciation event that we just had for all our employees that we attended. And so that was a very nice event and appreciating all of our city employees and the hard work and dedication that they do for the city of Windom. Then Night to Unite, the big event that's coming up every year. It's the first Tuesday of August is the National Night. So Tuesday, August 2nd from 5 to 7 on 4th Avenue, downtown on the square. We will have the safety vehicle fair as we have every year with law enforcement. We have the DNR officers coming. I believe he's bringing an airboat. The Sheriff's Department is there. The Windom Police Department is there. Hopefully, State Patrol, if able, they'll be there. Then we have the Fire Department will be there, the ambulance, and also we have a school bus every year. So the kids, it's gonna, whether we like it or not, summer's almost winding down and we're gonna be into school season. So it's always nice for the kids to see that school bus. And if they've never been on one, they can get on and check out the school bus. And also they're always, I think, recruiting school bus drivers, so they always have information down there for that. Hy-Vee's down there selling the hot dogs and hamburgers, and then the school is down there doing the ice cream social. Just a lot of fun activities and events. I believe the chamber is bringing in a bouncy house, I think, for kids. And then we always have some kind of little activity down there. This year, it's kind of going to be a Paw Patrol theme, so those young kids that love Paw Patrol, you're going to want to bring your kids downtown on Tuesday, August 2nd. They will be getting little token coins with a paw print on it from all our safety professionals downtown, and then they will bring that by the Department of Corrections probation booth, and we have a little gift bag, and they have little books in there about law enforcement, about the ambulance, and about fire. And so they'll get cute little books and a little treat that they'll be able to take home that night. And then this year, we also have a DJ, so we'll have some music down there, so that's always fun. So even if you're not the young person getting the coins and going around seeing Paw Patrol, you can just hang out down there and listen to the DJ, some music. Hopefully it'll be a good weather that evening. And then another addition is we've always done things and it's geared kind of towards the young people for the prizes. So this year we are going to sponsor a free movie, meaning the Department of Corrections probation is going to sponsor a free movie at the movie theater, and that'll be at 7 o'clock. So when Night to Unite winds down, the free movie will be Dog. It is PG-13, so that we're gearing it towards the teenagers so that they have something fun for them to do that evening. So we just encourage everybody to come down because really it's about getting our community together, meeting each other, knowing all of our safety personnel, having your kids not afraid, of fire, ambulance, police, those kind of things, being able to talk to them, knowing that they're human, they're people too, and then having everybody have a good relationship. I think especially right now with kind of the recent possible abductions and things we're hearing about in the news and in our area, I think it's excellent opportunity for everyone to come down and meet each other, meet your neighbors, meet the people that hopefully you're trusting and watching over your kids. We all watch over each other in this small community. So come on out. Thank you.
Thank you. Very well said. And Jenny's passionate about this, and rightfully so. Thank you once again for all the cooperation and organization and everything. So thank you. With that, I'm good. You're good. We're adjourned by unanimous consent. Okay. I can't believe I almost forgot her. I'm glad you guys were all pumped.